But the presentation will be in Russian, so hope for those people who don't feel so comfortable in English might read some copy on the slides. I work at SARE. SARE is a Polish company, originally based, we grew up from email marketing, but right now we deal with, generally speaking, digital communication itself. So this is mainly my topic today, how we can use digital communication with banks' customers, how we can deal with them, how we shall communicate with them, and in generally, what are the profits for you, for your institutions, for the banks, to get the best out of your customers. Shortly speaking, I work at SARE for 7 years, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Customer Service. I work with major brands like IKEA, institutional banks, institutional with finance. So major banks in Poland, over 60% of banks on the Polish market actually cooperate with SARE. And I had a chance to speak with most of them, but not only on the management level, but also on the operational level. So I'm pretty much well known in all the technical details, as well as in any marketing demands, what are the goals for marketing department, what banks need to communicate to their customers and how to reach them. Among many banks we cooperate with, some of them were already mentioned today. But apart from banks, we also cooperate with financial institutions like advisory, for instance, Expander, and brokerage home. So, moving forward, actually, what is this all about, and how the world has changed, and how we should communicate, contact our clients. Most of you probably know how you start the day. You wake up, the first thing you do after you open your eyes is just check the phone, what messages you have on your smartphone, who wrote to you, who texted you, what emails you got, who emailed you, what offers you received, and so on. Basically, the world has changed so much, and the reality has changed so much, that right now we are very in the digital world. It's not like, let's say, 20 years ago, the first thing you experienced was just to take a brief look on the TV or what's going on the newspaper. Right now, you have all that information in your pocket, and the first thing you do in the morning is simply check your phone, what information you got. So this is, just please bear this thought in mind. So we check the social media, we find out we like the posts from the brands we like. We like the comments from our friends. We share content, we give recommendation about the places we have visited. We give the recommendations about the service we had experienced. And received, you can count how many databases, how many newsletters you've been added, to how many databases you have subscribed within your not only professional area, but also personally, what things you're interested in. When browsing the internet, you are also bombarded by lots of banners. Well, some of you might use ad blocks, so it's not so rigid, but we have lots of banners, we have lots of online advertisements. To some of those we react, to some of those banners actually work and convert to the required landing page, and there is a required action the advertiser would like to receive, but we see that all the time. So Based on the social media, based on the email communication, based on the online advertisement, we can build a profile of each individual user on the internet. It's built on the things we like, built on how many friends we have on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on what links we click within the email and to what landing page we eventually end up. And based on that, also what phrases we are looking on the internet, in Google, whether we are looking for holidays in Dominicana or whether we'd like to find some tickets for the Shakhtar Donetsk game, right? Yesterday we had. All that information, we are leaving all those traces online. And this is the first step, actually. This is the first step, one part of the database we are collecting. We are leaving those traces, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Some companies actually gather that data. And a profile of each single user can be built. Of course, each single person at this place leaves such traces. And even, how many of us? Around, let's say, 50 people around here. And with that target group, with that 50 people, each of you has its own profile. But if we compare that profile, we could also divide that into symbol, let's say 5, 10, depends on the criteria. We can build a group and communicate to that group. If we have that profile of many groups, let's say, assume 10 groups, and we collect that data, combine that with the transactional data you have within your bank systems, you know what the people buy, you know what is their average level of purchase they make online, you know how much money they take out the ATM machines, and so on and so on. You have all that information in your systems. And if you combine that with their profile of their behavior on the internet, you have a powerful tool to reach the audience and to sell them, upsell, offer them additional products. So think of that in a broader terms. Earlier today, it was already mentioned that we're not talking about the segmentation as it was based on the sex, male or female, location where the people live, the age. No, that's not sexy anymore. We're talking right now about how they behave online. Because most of us think, well, online, I'm anonymous. That's not true. There's no such thing like being anonymous on the internet. If we keep that in mind, what it tells us actually, what we can do about that, how do we get the best out of that data we have? Within your organization, you might know, okay, we've got CRM, we've got some data analyst, we've got lots of various different tools, lots of various different systems that should actually give us the required information we want to reach to our audience. But actually, it doesn't happen. It's quite difficult and it's quite a challenge, probably, for most of you, to get the best out of your tools you have. You've got lots of different systems, and the challenge is actually to say, okay, I got this, I got that, I got another analytical system. What should I do with all that information? How to get the best out of that data? So out of 50% of customers, people who are actually, it's been recently done by Gartner, as far as I remember, Over 50% of customers, they start their shopping process online, and they end up with buying offline. That's the ROPO effect. Research online, purchase offline. So if we know what people are searching online, and we know the fact that 50% of them actually buy offline, we should also think about the connection between the online world and offline world. Keeping in mind also that we have lots of those systems, the question is how to do that. How actually find out who is interested in what. And if we know, if we have that segmentation based on what their people are looking online, we also have the data from your transactional systems, from the banking system. We know what they're doing on their mobile applications, also banking. Next, we build a profile. We know what is that sexy segmentation. Next question is how to reach them. How to contact that individual, John, Mary, Samantha, single person, how to talk their language, how to reach them. How do I know and how can I speak their language to individual single person? For instance, in the ideal world, I would love to see an offer from my bank saying, hey, Kasia, this is the 50% off for a special plane ticket to Monachium, to Munich, right? But I didn't get that offer so far. We're having that segmentation based on the email, the mobile app, the search results, we know what people are interested in, and how we can target that audience. It's based on the landing pages we get, so asking people online what their preferences before planning a major call center campaign to your customers. Before that, one step earlier, we can prepare a microsite, an online microsite saying, hey, tell me what products are you interested in. Based on the results, we can then schedule much more targeted campaign to those people. Plus additional also tools that are mentioned here. So just to recap briefly, we have Sasha, let's say, someone from here. And we know that he has a mobile app, he uses our mobile application. He searched some phrases online. He wanted to check, let's say, what are mortgage available online, what the best mortgage would be in which bank. We know that he is in our paper mail database, so we were sending out him some paper mailings maybe. He has been also included in our email database. Maybe from time to time he also received a message from the external mailing database that advertised our service. And from time to time, we also contact him via call center with offer products. It's very important to gather all those channels of communication. That's one thing. To know what within each channel, what Sasha was interested in, how he reacted, whether he mostly responds to the call center because he likes to talk on the phone, or we get the bigger conversion whether he's simply browsing or searching some products online. So keep in mind it's important to react to the channel that person is most likely to use and it's in favor. If we have that, once we're having that data and we know what Sasha likes to browse, what he's interested in, and what products he's looking for right now. We have that information in our systems, CRM, web analytics, like Google Analytics, let's say. Maybe you have also some external email deliverability service. How you can combine those channels into one tool that will actually react properly as you want to and reach the audience with the right content, at the right time, with the right message. So think of right now of a magic box. So right here we have all those systems. We connect that with the magic box. I will tell about that in a second. And then from this magic box, we execute the communication, a direct communication, direct message with the right content to the right person. So that's SARE Hub, the magic box. Within that box, we have various tools. And I will not speak any technical language, lucky you. But within that box, we have various tools like screwdriver, hammer, ruler, anything else you need actually to prepare communication, the right communication, targeted to your final person. As a few examples right now, the first one of those tools, well, one example is that within that box we have, for instance, the marketing automation tool, the video marketing, and big data analysis. With those tools, we can actually reach the person and find out what she is interested in and what they would like to see. The first goal might be within your organization. It can be how to reach the audience based on the marketing automation, which is the phrase that some of you probably might know. And we can, first of all, check what pages that person has been browsing, what content was interested for him, for her. If we know that they were interested in their following, for instance, some celebrity channel on YouTube, and we know that he's responding to that content online, while watching a video dedicated for that person, we can add a targeted advertisement saying, okay, this is the brand new model of Mercedes, the advertisement, and at the end, click here to find out more details, get a test lesson of that new model. The second example is based on the segmentation, but on the website traffic. How to automatically, of course, using your online tools, how we can segment and divide that whole mass of people who are browsing your content. What content they are clicking, how much time they are spending on each article, what did they do, what is the first thing they're watching, what is the last thing they're watching, and so on. Another goal we can reach also is overview of recently viewed products. So to reach that goal, we can add additional, we can see what content was interested for that person as last thing, and further, for instance, show a banner on the mobile application, send additional offer saying, hey, you didn't purchase this, maybe you're interested in another product but with an additional discount. And out of the last goal can be effective upselling and cross-selling. Yesterday, there was also mentioned phrase cross-buying, which is from customer's experience. Well, apart from those bullet points, this goal is reached mostly by, and mostly loyalty programs are interested in this goal, and we also cooperate. This goal has been reached also by a loyalty program called Payback, which is one of the major loyalty programs in Poland, and we've been also successfully supporting them to reach the targeted audience within email, but also within the SMS communication with text messaging itself. So loyalty programs, some banks in Poland also have their own loyalty programs, like ING, for instance. And this case, those tools, big data, automated marketing, reached by channels like email, SMS, call center, those channels were also included by campaign. I can't tell the name in fact, but some of you may think of that, by one of the payment companies who issue the cards. So we've been also supporting that as a program for this company, and using email, using website analysis, using SMS and call center, combining those 4 channels, we've been able to, within the campaign that lasted for up to 6 weeks, we've been able to include the customer engagement, to reach the customer engagement at level 5.7, and within that campaign we have reached the redemption level at up to 60%. So that was a huge, that was a really huge success at that time. What should I focus on? Like, what eventually should be my key goals? What information I would like you to keep out of my presentation? Well, think of your audience, think of your customers like people, individual person, individual, single, male, female, who has their own interest, who have their own preference of contact, whether they more likely to use simple text message to their friends, or they rather to send a message via Messenger, whether they are most likely to respond to banners on Facebook, whether they are searching for products online, whether they are searching for recommendation online. Think of them like individual person, and based on that, think how you can communicate via that channel. Email, SMS, simple phone, banners, etc. Next thing is choose the right content. If we know that someone was offered already 10% off any product, if someone was already offered, let's say, a mortgage, well, don't offer that at the same time. If someone has been offered 30% but did not purchase, maybe we should think of another factor that will actually encourage to finalize the transaction. And the last but not least, it's all a vicious circle. So it's all about continuous optimization, balance marketing goals, but within your business constraints, of course. Those are the key factors. If you think of that, if you think of reaching your audience like a continuous process, continuous segmentation, continuous database analysis, and continuous communication based on what they do online, plus keeping in mind also your transactional data, which is a huge asset, then we may think of growth of your business itself. Спасибо большое за внимание.